Peace and blessings in this corner box in 24. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing this evening? I'm doing pretty good over here. Can't really complain. God is good all the time. God is great. And I thank him for another day. Thank him for my health, my family, and the ability to get on here and give some news, some good information, hopefully, on the boxing world. 24/7 news. Okay, so once again, this is In This Corner Boxing 24. And please subscribe to the page. Help me build up the page. And I appreciate the comments. Leave comments, any criticism, anything that you have, I'm here. As long as it's respectful, I'm here to answer any questions that I can. I don't know it all. There's people that know more than me. And some of the people that is on my page or subscribe to the page, they may know more than me. And that's okay. But if I say something wrong, I'm going to correct myself. That's going to think about me and my page, okay? I'm not too big to be wrong, all right? So let's get into it. So what I want to talk about is Mr. Timothy Bradley, analyst, boxing analyst, former fighter, junior welterweight, fought at welterweight, one of my favorite fighters at the time, even though he beat let me say this, before he became my favorite fighter, because one thing I always liked about Timothy Bradley was his heart. He had a lot of heart, and it seemed like he would fight about anybody. He beat my man Devin Alexander at 140. That kind of broke me, when he beat Devin Alexander, man, I really liked Devin Alexander at that time. And when he beat him, man, I was watching that fight, I was like, damn, man. But I was like, yo, this Timothy Bradley dude, he's serious, man. He got a good fight game. So he had some good fights, man. Junior Witter, Lamont Peterson. He had some good wins, man, some good fights. Timothy Bradley, all right? Got a lot of respect for him as far as his boxing game. But recently, man, he's been making some comments that's a little irrational, okay? And what we're going to talk about tonight is, the comment that he made about Terrence Crawford fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. And he was surprised that it was even mentioned. And then he said that Crawford would knock Jaron Boots Ennis out. So let me just say this, right? I know Timothy Bradley is very loyal to Terrence Crawford. Okay, he's been pushing him to fight Errol Spence. He wants him to fight Errol Spence. He thinks he'll beat Errol Spence. I think the same way. I think he'll beat Errol Spence as well. He's very loyal to Terrence Crawford, no matter what anybody has to say. Also, the fact that Terrence Crawford was a Bob Arum top-ranked fighter, and so was Timothy Bradley. And keep it real, Timothy Bradley. There's nothing wrong with being loyal to a fighter and to somebody that you like, but don't be irrational. Because honestly, the only reason he really got that fight with Manny Pacquiao, a legend, is because he was with Top Rank and Manny Pacquiao was with Top Rank, and that was a fight that could easily be made. So he finally got that fight. Okay, but he wasn't with Top Rank. If Manny Pacquiao wasn't with Top Rank, most likely he wouldn't have got that fight. Okay, so you got that fight. You had that. Now, there was some discrepancy with that fight, okay, with one of those fights, whether you won or lost, all right? But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the comments that you made about Jaron Boots Ennis getting knocked out by Terrence Crawford. That's irrational, okay? The reason why I say, well, let me not say it's irrational. Let me just say this. What is the reason that you're saying it? Because on the flip side, Boots could knock Terrence Crawford out too, right? It could go either way. So it's not so much irrational, it's just the reasoning for why you're saying it. And to me, the reason why you're saying it is because you're so loyal to him that you're just dismissing Jaron Ennis. Instead of just saying, well, you know what, I got Terrence Crawford beating him. Just say that. But for you to just say he's going to outright knock him out, you got to prove that. How? Based on what? Based on what? And honestly, Terrence Crawford got more holes in his defense than Jaron Ennis, if you want to keep it real. Terrence Crawford gets hit a lot. And what I will say, with fighting Errol Spence, I believe he could beat Errol Spence. But if Errol Spence taps him. Can he take it? I don't know. We got to see, right? We want to see that fight. I definitely don't know if he could take a shot from Jaron Ennis. That's yet to be seen, right? So when you make a comment like that, Timothy Bradley, man, we got to talk about that, man, because it's like, why are you saying it? So I believe that's why you said it, because you're loyal to Terrence Crawford. And it goes back to being loyal to somebody to a point where you'll just say anything, right? For instance, I was just having this conversation with my family on Sunday. My favorite fighter is Floyd Mayweather Jr. Everybody knows that. But if you ask me, is he the favorite or is he the greatest fighter of all time, the GOAT of boxing, I'm not going to say that because he's not. No matter how much I love Floyd Mayweather, he's not the greatest all time. And if you watch interviews with Roger Mayweather, he'll tell you the same thing. He never said it outright, but he named fighters, top 5. He named fighters from eras, and he also talked about how the eras was different. And whenever you talk to him about great fighters, he's talking about Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson, right? Joe Louis. And I say the same thing. So no, Floyd Mayweather's not the greatest all time. He's not the best ever. He's the biggest moneymaker, and he's definitely one of the top boxers all time and one of the greatest all time. Yeah, he's definitely on a Mount Rushmore of boxing. Absolutely. Okay? But he's not the greatest all time. So that's my point. No matter how much I love and respect Floyd Mayweather, he's my favorite fighter, I'm not going to make a statement saying he's the best all time just because I like him. So that's my point. So Timothy Bradley making that comment about Terrence Crawford is the same way. Keep it real, man. He's not the best. Is he the pound for pound best welterweight right now? Yeah. But don't act like because you're loyal to him that he could just beat everybody. He could knock everybody out, because that's not happening. And his record don't reflect that. And his fights don't reflect that. Okay? And that's a technical thing we can get into about KOs and TKOs and difference and all of that, because there ain't really nobody out here knocking nobody out with one shot. Okay? Not even Canelo is doing that. And Canelo got a lot of knockouts. You know what I'm saying? 37. So nobody's knocking nobody out really with one shot. It's usually taking a barrage of punches, 2 or 3, 4, a TKO, which is actually a knockout. But nobody's just putting nobody out with one shot where they can't get up from the canvas. Nobody's really doing it. Jaron has done it, though. Jaron has done it, okay? Because Delerme didn't get up off that canvas, and neither did Lipinets. They was out for the count, all right? But, so my thing is with Timothy Bradley, man, just keep it real, all right? You like Terrence Crawford, but don't dismiss Boots. Now, what I like about Boots Ennis, man, he was interviewed and he was asked that question about what Timothy Bradley said. And he's so humble, man. He said, listen, Timothy Bradley, he said, yeah, something with these retired fighters, man, you know, and the comments that they made. But then he said, it's all right, because when we do fight, I'm going to prove them wrong. See, that's a humble statement right there. He said, I'm just going to prove Timothy Bradley wrong. That's all. I ain't got to go back and forth about it. You know, and his father, he made a comment about it as well. You know, he said that Timothy Bradley, how many times has he been hit? How many times he been in the hospital? Like, why would he say something like that? You know, he should know better. But they still was humble in their comments, because his father even said, I got a lot of respect for Crawford. I got a lot of respect for Crawford. He said, I'm the top guys. He said, those guys can fight. He said, I would never disrespect them. You know, so they still went about it diplomatically, humble, professional, and I really appreciate that about Boots and his father. But at the end of the day, man, you could see that eye, man. You could see that dog, and you could see that eye of the tiger with Jaron, man. He's not playing. He said, listen, man, at the end of the day, I want to fight these dudes, right? And we're going to fight sooner or later. And he also answered the question about Terrence Crawford and his team saying that he should go and fight Danny Garcia. He said, listen, they'll say anything, just like Devin Haney always says, his father always says, Bill Haney. They say everything but let's fight. So Jaron was like, yeah, they say everything but let's fight. He said, Danny Garcia, come on, man. He said, listen, they know I want to fight the top guys, Terrence Crawford and Spence. So why are you pushing Danny Garcia on me? Danny Garcia is not a top dude no more. No disrespect to him. He had a great career, but he's not at the top no more. He got a few losses now, and he really didn't do nothing with Errol Spence. He didn't give no effort. Okay? Would that help the career of Boots? It wouldn't hurt it. I'm not saying he shouldn't fight him, but don't push it like that, like he got to fight him in order to fight you, Crawford. No, you fight him. If anybody should be fighting Danny Garcia, it should be Crawford, because you ain't got no fight lined up. You waiting to see what Spence going to do with Ugas. What if Ugas beats him? And at the end of the day, you want to stay busy. You 34 years old now, man. You're not getting younger. Okay, you the oldest out of really the crop of the welterweight, so you should be keeping busy. So you should fight Danny Garcia, see how you do with him. Okay, that'll be the third fighter that you fought that you would have synonymous with Errol Spence. So that's a good play for you. That's a very good fight for you. Don't push him to somebody else, because you're not really on that status, man. Let's keep it real. You was with Bob Arum for so long, man, that you lost a lot of volume. You lost a lot. Being with him wasted a lot. That now you're going to try to make up, and now you're 34 years old, and now you got less years ahead of you than you got behind you because of that, okay? And that's on you. That's the decision that you made. You finally left, thank God, but, like, you wasted a lot of valuable time, okay? De La Hoya went through that. Floyd Mayweather went through that. They know better. And you should have known better. Somebody should have told you, but you did what you did. So now it's like, what you going to do? You waiting on Spence. No, man, make a fight and stay busy. That's what you should be doing. I see you not fighting Jaron Ennis, because that's a high-risk, low-reward fight. I get it. But you can fight Danny Garcia and see if Errol Spence going to keep his word. That's what I would do. All right? I think that's a smart thing to do. But anyway, man, Jaron Ennis, man, he's going to fight Castillo Clayton May 14th in Los Angeles on the undercard, the co-main event of Jamel Charlo Castano. I think that's going to be a blockbuster fight. I think he's going to really show out. It's going to be another, great win. Another undefeated fighter. He's going to show out. Not taking nothing away from Clayton, because he's coming to fight. But Jaron is just on that level, man. All right? So eventually, man, he's going to get these fights that he wants. Okay? So Timothy Bradley, man, it's all good. We know where your loyalty is at. We respect that. But we know we got something for that. All right? And at the end of the day, Crawford going to have to put up or shut up. Because boxing don't get decided by talking. It get decided by getting in that ring, man, and putting them hands together in a square circle. All right? So peace and blessings in this corner boxing 24. Everybody stay safe. Wear your mask, social distancing, and have a good evening. Peace.